Queen Elizabeth II will be very proud of her grandson Prince William for his legacy-making work focused on the environment, according to our royal commentator. Royal author Duncan Larcombe believes the Queen will be proud of Prince William, particularly because with his work on the environment he is following in Prince Philip's footsteps. The royal commentator told OK! Magazine. Prince William is putting himself absolutely at the forefront of the environmental movement. The Queen will be very proud, especially as he's following in the footsteps of Prince Philip, who was the original environmentalist at a time when he was almost alone in his thinking. Prince Charles has continued that legacy for the past 20 years, building on his father's commitment to raising environmental awareness, and now Prince William is doing so as well. In October last year, William officially launched the Earthshot Prize, an initiative that will see 5 individuals who have created workable solutions to tackle environmental issues being awarded £1 million every year for the next decade. The winners will be established by a council, which will include the Duke of Cambridge and people who have distinguished themselves for their conservation and environmental work. The Queen will be very proud of Prince William for his work on the environment. Expert image. Prince Philip was widely considered a passionate environmentalist. Image. Ahead of the first ever awards ceremony, taking place in mid-October, William has also penned the introduction to a companion book to his initiative, Earthshot: How to Save Our Planet. This book, written by Colin Buttfield and Johnny Hughes, and to be released on September 30th, will highlight the urgency of the environmental challenges faced by the planet, showcase studies and feature contributions from the awards council members. William learned much about the environment and the challenges it is facing from his father. Appearing on BBC Radio 4 last October, he was asked about the Prince of Wales's stance and warnings on the environment, for which, decades ago, he was considered dotty. The first ever Earthshot Prize Awards will take place in October. Image. The Duke said, "I regularly wonder what my father's banging on about, and I'm sure every son thinks the same." But no, publicly, with my father's environmental credentials, has talked about this for a long time and long before people cottoned on to climate change. So I've always listened to and learnt and believed in what he's saying. But I know it's a very hard sell, 40 years ago, to predict and see some of the slow-moving catastrophes we're heading towards. Prince William has been the patron of Tusk since 2005. Image. Prince Charles started voicing his concerns for the environment 5 decades ago. Image. Charles started voicing his concerns for issues such as plastic waste and air pollution before they were widely considered issues. Last year, marking the 50th anniversary of his first landmark speech on the environment, recalled how his warnings had been received. He said, "I was considered rather dotty, to say the least, for even suggesting these things, rather like when I set up a reed bed sewage treatment system at Highgrove all those years ago. That was considered completely mad." As noted by Mr. Larcombe, both Prince Charles and Prince William were preceded by Prince Philip in their interest in nature and the environment. The late Duke of Edinburgh was widely considered a passionate environmentalist, particularly interested in conservation. Sir David Attenborough, a celebrated natural historian who also sits in the Earthshot Prize Council, praised the late Duke's interest in nature shortly after his passing. He said, "He was right there at the beginning at a time when conservation didn't mean much to many people. Even in the 60s and 70s, he saw it universally." Prince William launched the Earthshot Prize in October. Image. Much like his grandfather, William has shown an interest in conservation for decades. In 2005, he became the patron of TUST, which pioneers and promotes conservation initiatives across the African continent. Moreover, in 2020, he became the patron of two conservation charities, Fauna and Flora International, and the British Trust of Ornithology, passed on to him by his grandmother and grandfather respectively. The work of these charities, Kensington Palace said at the time, aligns with William's long-standing work around conservation and support for communities protecting their natural environment for future generations.